So you are interested in hypnotherapy, but you're also a little trepidatious about it. That's very understandable considering the cultural uh, idea of it is really different than the reality of it. But yeah, if you've seen films like Get Out or a stage hypnosis session, or if you have heard stories from the past of you know, invented memories, it's totally understandable. And I do think that, in a hypnosis, you're in a very suggestible state and you need to be with someone that is very trustworthy. And that's true of any therapist, right? So I'm making this video to kind of dispel some fears and explain some things and hope that and by doing so that I take some of the unknowingness about what hypnotherapy is and what it's not. And also to, just help you understand the process and maybe make you more comfortable with it. Um, because it isn't scary and it isn't something that where you will lose control of yourself or you won't remember what happened. Um, that's not hypnotherapy. So, one way that I work, and many people do, and I was trained to do this, is to offer a free consultation before we even get to the first session. And in the free consultation, um, I'm going to go over my notes just to make sure that I don't miss anything. So, a free consultation is going to happen over the phone, or it's going to actually happen over Zoom because I work telehealth. I do everything with my clients over Zoom. I was trained that way. I think there's a lot of benefit to having you stay in your home, someplace you're comfortable, on your own couch or your own lounge chair, or even in your bed, wherever you're the most comfortable, laying down with a headset or earpods. Um, but for the free consultation, it's about a 15-minute free consultation. It's not a session, but it's an opportunity to talk about what hypnosis is and what it is not. It's also an opportunity for you to interview me and ask me anything you want, um, within reason, but all in terms of, getting to know each other and being able to understand if hypnotherapy would be something you would want to do. And if we're a good fit, a lot can be kind of figured out in that 15-minute conversation. And also, it's not a time for you to talk about the presenting issue unless you want to. Um, Everything is still held with privacy and secrecy. Anything said to me will not be repeated to anyone. Um, and then I get into the theory of mind, which is sort of a understanding of why we even work with hypnosis. It's the principle of that theoretically about 10% of your mind is conscious, and it's what you're walking around in and what you're aware of. And then below that, like if you think of an iceberg, is like 90% of just lived experience that is still influencing you, where you are holding a lot in your subconscious. And so through hypnotherapy, we weave together the conscious and the unconscious, and we create a dialogue, which enables you to actually have, other than in dream, a real interaction with your subconscious and starting to understand, you know, some of your behavior, even like why you want to make change, but you're unable to, or you feel like you're unable to, and we can work with that. And so that's the free consultation. And if that goes well, then we go into the first session. And in the first session, we would have it always starts with a conversation. What's happening? What's the presenting issue? If we've been seeing each other, then, it's an ongoing conversation. If we're new, we're really, again, just getting into like, what is the presenting issue? what needs to change, what change do you want to see happen in your life? And then we start to kind of talk about like what you think is stopping that change. What's getting in the way? And maybe you don't have a sense of that. And that's okay. It's all just a process of unfolding. Um, the next part of the session is we discuss and agree upon what will happen in the hypnosis portion of the session. So that's about another 10 minutes. So you have about 15 to 20 minutes and then 10 to 15 minutes of like saying, okay, this is what we're working on. This is what's going to happen. And we agree on it. So you know what you're getting into. And so that takes up about a half an hour of the session. The session is about an hour in total. It's okay if it goes a little over, a little under. It's around 60 minutes. So then once we kind of know what we're working on and we've agreed on what's going to happen in hypnosis, that's when you would put on the headphones or the earbuds. And it's also when the hypnosis portion of the session would start. And that is recorded. The audio, not the video, but the audio is recorded for you. It is yours. You can listen to it later. You can listen to it when you're falling asleep, when you're getting up, not when you're driving. you, you want to be in a relaxed place where you can close your eyes. But that audio recording is yours. And yeah, it's about a 20 to 25 minute session, part of the session. And that's sort of an agreed upon. It can go longer, but that's sort of, there's an induction that gets you into the state of hypnosis. There's what happens in the hypnosis, and then there's a coming back to reality. All of that takes about 20 minutes, and it's a good amount of time. Then we do the review at the end. Now we're back to cognitive conversation. What did you experience? What do you remember exactly what happened? Because even though I'm narrating the hypnosis, you are having your own experience. And so you and I will discuss what happened for you during the hypnosis and what was interesting to you about it. And yeah, that is about the whole hour. And you will get, the recording sent to you. And it's yours forever. And many people work with them for a long time. And, the one thing I would say is that even at the very beginning in the first session, we kind of worked this out in the free consultation period as well. We really, I was trained as a hypnotherapist within a behaviorist viewpoint. Like we're here to make change. And we discuss at the very beginning how many sessions we think that will take. It can change. And often when people begin to work on one thing, they decide to work on something bigger. Like I had a fear of this, but I realized it's connected to this. And that's actually bigger. And I want to work on that. And you've helped me over my fear of driving or my fear of flying or, something in that realm. But then it's touching on deeper things. And then that can suggest more sessions. But we usually, before you've even begun the first session, after the first consultation, you kind of know, we're going to do 3 sessions, we're going to do 6. And you have a framework of what's going to happen in those sessions as well. And yeah, I think the best way to think about it is that you need to work with someone who you trust, who is very open to you about what is happening and what is potentially possible for you. What directly healing this modality will have for you and what to expect. And yeah, it's actually a really beautiful kind of sacred spiritual experience where I find my experience with people that I'm working with that they really tap into something so important, such a strong sense of who they are. And that alone is powerful. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.